Hi guys, it's me Babsi. First of all, Happy New Year 2020. A new decade is starting. Let's make it a great one. Today I want to stay on the topic of aging. I don't know if you saw my last video, but I did a video on skin rejuvenation, focusing on how red light therapy can help you with maintaining beautiful plump skin that has no wrinkles and makes you healthy overall, red light therapy. And today I thought I want to stay on the topic of aging, and I want to focus on our brain. I want to focus on cognitive function. In particular, I brought a study for you today that is focusing on the prefrontal cortex, which is right here. And yeah, I just want to begin with a question to every one of you out there. Do you think I should do a mini series on the topic of aging? If you think so, please let me know in the comment section down below. If you like this idea, please like this video. And also, most importantly, if you have an idea of any topic that you find really interesting, focusing on aging, and you were curious about if photobiomodulation could help with this, please also let me know your idea, and I will talk about it for sure, because I want to make content that you guys are passionate about. That's what makes me passionate. So yeah, I want to focus on brain health today, as I've already said, and on cognitive function. And as we all know, the cerebral blood flow declines as we age. This is particularly important because our prefrontal cortex is developing until our mid-20s or even late 20s, and the decline starts kind of from 30 on. Studies show that from age 20 to 60, this less cerebral blood flow is actually declining by 16%, which makes it a decline of 0.5 or 4% each year. So this, as you can already tell, is a very important topic, as it's a natural way of aging. And this is how our brain gets impacted by this. And less blood flow to your brain basically means that your brain gets less oxygen and less glucose. And in red light therapy terms, this means that the mitochondria in your brain can produce less ATP, which means less energy. And through that, cognitive function that are happening are harder and harder. People that are aging are talking to us about this and are asking if red light therapy can help with that. So yeah, up until this day, there is no treatment, doesn't matter if it's pharmacological or non-pharmacological, that can help with this natural decay of our brain. There is no treatment that can help reverse, stabilize, or delay this development. And now, with research kind of branching out of classical research topics, and especially now with photobiomodulation being on the rise, there seems to be a lot of promising results that show that photobiomodulation can help with this. In most studies, they're doing transcranial infrared brain stimulation, or short TIPS, which is usually happening with a laser that gets inserted through the nose and directs at your prefrontal cortex right here, and treats the brain kind of like this. And results are very promising, and show that these actually could help delay, stabilize, or even reverse such age-related developments. Now, what I thought was really interesting is this study that was done in February of 2019 in Hong Kong, in China. And I chose this study today because I always want the studies that we're talking about to be as close as possible to our device, which uses LEDs and not lasers. So I thought I'm going to share this with you today. But I just wanted to mention that in most studies, transcranial lasers are used. And if you want, I can send you some studies about that too. But the study I'm going to talk about today uses LEDs, just like our device. And the main difference between lasers and LEDs, which is also a question that we get a lot, is basically that lasers are broadly used in research conditions because they're very easily controllable. And of course, the area that you want to target gets targeted even better and controlled. But for at-home use, we personally wouldn't quite recommend it, as it's also a very costly endeavor. And LEDs obviously have a much broader target area, which in our case for at-home devices and treatments is a beneficial thing, and also it's much more cost effective and for that case accessible. So let's come to the study that I've told you. It was done in February 2019 in Hong Kong, so it's a very recent study that shows promising results. And it basically shows that photobiomodulation is a non-invasive, because LEDs are used from the outside, so you don't even have to go kind of in your nose, is a non-invasive, cost-effective, and most importantly, non-pharmaceutical approach that can help with those aging developments of your brain. And what they did is they had 30 participants, 30 older participants, that they tested with cognitive tests that were specific for the prefrontal cortex. They did the test before, then they had a placebo and a control group, and the placebo group didn't receive any photobiomodulation, and the control group received daily photobiomodulation for 7.5 minutes, and afterwards they did the same cognitive test again. And what they used was both red and near infrared light. To be specific, they used 633 nanometers and 870 nanometers in their study. And results very significantly and very obviously showed that only the group of elderly people or older people that received photobiomodulation showed much more and significantly better results in their cognitive testing. They showed that their action selection, their impulse control, and their mental flexibility were significantly better. And these are characteristic signs of a better prefrontal cortex functioning. The prefrontal cortex is one of the main parts of our brain, which has an effect of those three things that I just said, but also on language, the movement, emotion is a very big part, personality, and long-term memory. So this study showed that red light therapy is a safe and cost-effective way. And what was done is that the LEDs were used on both sides of the forehead, so it was shining from here and from here, but also on the posterior midline, which is here kind of. And yeah, we thought that was really interesting. I wanted to share that with you guys. And if you have our device lying around at home, or you're thinking about buying it, this actually could help you too, if you would just address kind of this area, which gets both sides of the forehead, but also the posterior midline. And as I've already said, elder people had significantly better cognitive tests. Thank you for listening to me. If you found this video informative, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't seen my skin rejuvenation video, please check that out also. And as I've already mentioned, please let me know if you want more videos on age-related content and photobiomodulation. I'd be happy to share some insights with you. Bye, have a nice Saturday.